Her eyes don't lie. If she's secretly obsessed with you, they'll give her away. Most guys are completely blind to the signals women send, brushing them off as coincidence or just being friendly. But the truth is, women are masters of subtlety. They won't always say how they feel, but their eyes, they'll expose everything. You've probably had moments where you felt something was there, like the way she looked at you a little longer than usual, or how she glanced at you when she thought you weren't paying attention. Was it real, or were you imagining it? After this video, you won't have to wonder. You're about to learn the 10 undeniable eye behaviors that reveal when a woman is completely hooked on you. Some are subtle, some are intense, and one is so powerful that it's impossible to fake. Pay attention, because once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing the truth everywhere. 10. She narrows her gaze slightly, as if studying your face. You're mid-conversation, and she's locked in. But there's something different about the way she's looking at you. Her eyes narrow just a bit, her focus sharpens, and it almost feels like she's analyzing you, taking in every detail. It's not the kind of stare someone gives when they're just listening. It's deeper than that. It's as if she's trying to figure you out. Like you're a puzzle she's completely fascinated by. This isn't just about paying attention, it's a sign of intrigue. When a woman does this, it's often because she's drawn to something about you. Your energy, your confidence, or even just the way you move. Biologically, this happens because when we're attracted to someone, our brain tells us to absorb as much detail as possible. It's a subconscious way of gathering information, of wanting to understand and connect. You might see this happen when you're telling a story, or when there's a pause in the conversation and she's still holding eye contact. If she's studying you like this, she's not just listening, she's invested. 9. Her eyebrows raise subtly when she first sees you. You walk into the room, and before she even says a word, her face gives her away. There's that tiny flicker of surprise, the slight lift of her eyebrows just for a split second before she catches herself. It's automatic, like her body just reacted before she could even think about it. That little eyebrow raise? It's a classic sign of excitement, and it's one of the easiest ways to tell if a woman is genuinely happy to see you. This is pure biology at work. When we see something or someone that excites us, our facial expressions react instantly. The raised eyebrows widen the eyes, letting in more light, making us appear more open and engaged. It's a universal human reaction, completely involuntary. If you notice this happening when you make eye contact with her across the room, or even in a casual setting, take note. That's her body saying, "Oh, there you are." And trust me, that's a very good sign. 8. She repeatedly glances at your mouth during the conversation. You're talking and she's engaged, nodding along, but there's something else going on. Every so often, her eyes flicker down, just for a moment, toward your lips. Then they snap back up. It's quick, but it happens more than once. And now you're starting to wonder, is she thinking about kissing me? The short answer? Yes. This is one of those subconscious behaviors that women don't even realize they're doing. When we're physically attracted to someone, our brains start to map out potential intimacy without us even realizing it. Her glances toward your lips mean she's already picturing what it would be like to kiss you, whether she's consciously aware of it or not. You'll notice this most when the two of you are standing close, maybe in a quieter setting where there's a little tension in the air. It's the kind of thing that happens right before a first kiss. Her eyes keep dropping to your lips because deep down she's waiting for you to make a move. 7. She blinks slowly and deliberately, creating a sense of intimacy. Most people don't think about blinking. It's automatic, something we do constantly without even noticing. But when a woman is attracted to you, her blink pattern changes. Instead of quick, unconscious blinks, she starts blinking more slowly, almost as if she's savoring the moment. It's subtle, but it's a powerful signal of connection and comfort. This happens because slow blinking is a natural sign of relaxation and trust. When we're anxious or uninterested, our blinking speeds up. But when we're engaged, when we feel safe, when there's chemistry in the air, our bodies slow down. It's why lovers tend to blink less when looking into each other's eyes. It's a nonverbal way of saying, "I feel comfortable with you." You might notice this when you're sitting across from her on a date, when the conversation has hit that deeper, more personal level. If she's blinking slowly while maintaining eye contact, that's her way of signaling that she's locked in, that she's enjoying this moment just as much as you are. 6. Her gaze lingers on your face even during group conversations. You're out with friends, maybe at a dinner or a party, and the conversation is flowing. People are laughing, telling stories, but every time you glance in her direction, she's already looking at you. Even when someone else is talking, her attention keeps drifting back to you. It's not just a casual glance. Her gaze lingers like she's more interested in you than in whatever else is happening around her. This is one of those signs that's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. In a social setting, people naturally scan the room, looking at different speakers, reacting to different conversations. But if she keeps looking at you, even when she has no reason to, it means you're standing out in her mind. This happens because attraction sharpens our focus. When we're drawn to someone, our brain naturally prioritizes them over the rest of the environment. If she keeps finding reasons to make eye contact, if her gaze lingers just a second too long before she looks away, she's telling you exactly where her attention and her interest really is. And if you've been picking up on these signs so far, just wait, because the next 5 take things to a whole new level. If she's doing these, she's not just interested, she's completely hooked. Let's get into the top 5 signs that she's secretly obsessed with you. 5. She avoids breaking eye contact when you're talking. Most people naturally glance away during conversations, but not her. When you speak, she locks in, holding your gaze without hesitation. Even when there's a natural moment to look away, she doesn't. It's not forced. It's deep, intense, like she's absorbing every word. This happens because prolonged eye contact releases oxytocin, the bonding chemical. It creates a connection that feels intimate, even if neither of you says it out loud. You might notice this most when you're sharing something personal and she's completely tuned in. If she holds that eye contact longer than expected, she's not just interested, she's drawn to you. 4. Her eyes follow you as you move, even if she's talking to someone else. You step away, maybe just for a second, but when you glance back, you catch her watching you. She's mid-conversation, engaged with someone else, but her attention keeps drifting in your direction. It's like she's tracking you, staying aware of where you are in the room. This happens because attraction sharpens focus. When we're into someone, they become the most important thing in our environment. If she's watching you and she thinks you won't notice, she's not just interested, she's captivated. 3. She stares deeply into your eyes while smiling subtly. This isn't just eye contact. This is something more. Her gaze lingers, soft but intense, like there's an unspoken conversation happening between you. And then there's that subtle smile, just enough to make you wonder what's going through her mind. Psychologists call this the gaze of love, a prolonged, softened stare that signals deep emotional attraction. It's the kind of moment that makes time slow down. You'll see it when the conversation fades, when it's just the two of you, lost in the tension of what comes next. If she's looking at you like this, she's already hooked. 2. She looks at you when she thinks you're not paying attention. She won't stare at you openly, at least not when she thinks you'll notice. Instead, she steals glances in secret, watching you when she assumes your attention is elsewhere. But the second you turn her way, she looks away, pretending like nothing happened. This is pure instinct. Attraction makes people hyper-aware of the one they desire. Even if she's trying to play it cool, she can't help but look. If you catch her doing this more than once, she's thinking about you way more than she lets on. 1. Her pupils expand noticeably when you enter the room. This is the most undeniable sign. You walk in, and her pupils literally get bigger. She can't control it, can't fake it. It's pure biology. When we see something that excites us, our pupils dilate to take in more. If this happens when she looks at you, there's no question. She's obsessed. You'll notice this best in well-lit settings, where changes in pupil size are more obvious. If her eyes seem darker, wider, more engaged when she looks at you, it's happening. This isn't just casual attraction, this is deep, involuntary desire. And when you spot it, you'll know exactly what it means. Women may try to hide their feelings, but their eyes will always betray them. From lingering gazes to those secretive little glances when they think you're not looking, these signs are everywhere. You just have to start noticing them. The next time you're with a woman, pay attention. Is she holding eye contact just a little too long? Are her pupils dilating when she sees you? If so, she's more into you than she's letting on. Now that you know what to look for, it's time to put this knowledge to the test. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What's the biggest sign you've noticed from a woman?